All right, TakeFive, influencer boxing once again.
Man.
I gotta run you down on this whole situation of their like I don't even know what to call it. It's like Slim and Mams Taylor, like their public negotiations. So like I don't know if you've been knowing what's going on.
I've not been following.
Yeah, I literally told Sharon don't look at anything because I wanted to tell him what's going on. So like they wanted to do Slim versus Salt Papi, like baseline.
On this Misfits card,
Like on like Logan, KSI, this one. They want to do a super fight, Slim versus Salt Papi. So I don't know if you know, Misfits has a small council. Like they established a small council of like it's like True Jordy, Leon, like 4 people. I forget who else is in there. But they basically like regulate the fights and like if they
matchmakers.
Yeah, kind of like matchmakers, but if they say this fight needs to happen, like a mandatory fight, like they'll say this needs to happen, otherwise you vacate the title, something like that. So they said this fight between Slim and Salt needs to happen. Like it needs to happen, otherwise Slim, like, what are you doing? Like I don't know if he has to vacate the belt or what's going on, but they said this needs to happen. You have to agree by this day. Like I think it was either this past Monday or last Monday. I think it's this Monday. So they said you have to agree by this Monday. And then like you'll go from there or whatever. Like you agree the weight, the money, and then Slim was like, I'm down if he does it at 165. So Salt had to come down. So Salt's like, all right, bet. Like, he's down for anything, bro. So he said I'm down at 165, and then so they started working out the negotiations, and then so we didn't hear nothing from Slim for like days. We hear nothing from Slim. I'm hearing from Keem that like we're not hearing anything. The negotiations are stalled. They have until this Monday. So it goes Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You don't hear anything from Slim. Then all of a sudden the deadline at 3 p.m. hits, and then Keemstar comes out and says Slim has officially ducked Salt Papi. And then KSI comes out and says Slim is a bitch. He ducked Salt Papi. He didn't want to fight. What a bitch, whatever. And this is an owner of Misfits. You have to view KSI as an owner of Misfits, dissing one of his own fighters. And then Mams came out and said, yeah, he ducked. And they're saying he was. So what people are saying he tripped up on, because Slim replied to KSI and said, I'm down to do the fight. You know what I want. And he said, like, you know what type of money I want. So someone said 200K was offered to Slim for the fight. Okay, and I'm like, that's more than enough. You know,
that's good money.
That's
bro.
Good ass money, especially if you're an influencer. Boxing does not to be your main force of income.
It's supposed to be like a little side thing that you gotta do. I hate how they're all like doing this like thing, like there's like moving like they're Floyd Mayweather like prime like pay-per-view buys and stuff.
Mams confirms that to a random, like, this was the amount, like in a reply, like this was what we offered him, 200K, like more or less. And so everyone's thinking it's 200K. Then Slim comes out himself and confirms that offer was never offered to him. 200K was never offered to him. So he doesn't know why Mams is like this plot twist. That's the plot twist.
So what is it?
He said 200K was never. I don't know what it is. I don't know what. We don't know what it is now. This is where we're at now. And they said they're moving on to find Salt the next opponent or something. I don't know if Slim is. He said he's taking his promotion. He's taking his talents to Wet Promotions.
What?
Astrid Wet's like whole like separate company or whatever.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know if he's going to the second Kingpin tournament. I don't know what
That's
he's
King
doing.
Kingpin broke already.
And then he came out with like a boxing video, but he looks like he doesn't look in shape. He just like looks weak. So that's where we're at right now. So like, give me your whole thoughts on this. The owners of Misfits bashing one of their fighters publicly.
You know what? Let's start with their negotiation. If it comes down to that 200K is actually legitimate, you're actually like the biggest waste.
Yeah.
Cause 200,000, you're an undercard guy. Yeah. So I don't want to hear like like he's like the prime, can carry a card on his own. Like, you're not carrying it. First of all, this card's only about to do numbers because of people like Logan and KSI are on it, Tommy Fury, Dylan Dennis. That's what we're watching. The undercards, like, you're getting 200K to do an amateur fight at this point. Do it.
Exactly.
Like, do it. I don't understand why these guys are moving like they're like Floyd Mayweather, like the highest pay-per-view buys in the world, like Conor McGregor, like pay-per-view buys. Like, it's just not realistic. I don't know what they're expecting. The fight in general, that would be kind of interesting to see. Only because people have been overhyping Slim. You know my take on this already.
I think he's going to lose. Either way, he's going to lose to Salt Papi.
Slim is the most over, and I've said this before, I'll die on this hill until he proves me otherwise. I think he is so overrated.
It's true.
So overrated. Okay, like, I'm tired of seeing all these footage of him in the gym, like doing these bob and weave techniques. Like, I just don't think he's that good. I just think the people he's versed have been like subpar in comparison.
But like, Wade was like, I was watching Wade and Sensei, and they were saying like, you like, aside from the fight, like, if you're Mams and KSI, like, you shouldn't be devaluing your own fighters, you know, because they're saying like now he's worth like 80% less, and they're literally saying that in tweets. Like,
well, because I think where it runs into is like a problem where it's like, are you either like the owner of Misfits, or are you like, you know, are you just like trying to be like your own identity and you fight on Misfits, right? Because like for them to call him out is like pretty messed up if you come from like a CEO like standpoint.
Bro,
of, like,
even
the card.
even Dana White doesn't do that unless the fighter's leaving. If the fighter's leaving the promotion, then he'll be like, like he sucks, whatever.
Especially because like negotiations like fall through all the time, and I feel like that's a thing where it's like these guys are all fighting, you know, like they kind of have their own managers and stuff. So I feel like that needs to be kept, you know, behind closed doors. Like don't come out and call like him like messed up or like like make fun of him for not taking a fight. Yes, it's annoying. I know it messes it up, but it's not like that was a booked fight and you pulled out. Yeah, exactly. It was like you didn't book the fight yet.
You just couldn't make. So, like, you just couldn't come to agreements.
Exactly. Like, yeah. Like don't, like you were saying, don't like devalue him.
And he signed a multi-fight deal with Misfits, so it's like you have to work together in the future.
Like, what are you doing?
Like you can't just leave. But even if they didn't offer him 200K, like say they offered him like 100K, do you think that's enough?
No, I think it is enough. I don't think he's like worth crazy enough. Because I'm gonna be honest, who's really tuning in?
But let's say he's 7-0, he's the hitman. That's Slim.
Not nothing, bro. Let's say KSI, Logan are not on this fight. Who's buying a pay-per-view to watch Slim? And let's say he's not fighting Salt Papi. Because Salt Papi brings in numbers. Yeah, I've said this before. A lot of these influencers went and stopped becoming influencers ever since they started boxing. The thing with Salt Papi was he was coming from the TikTok side. And like, you know, he had a lot of fame like doing that running thing.
The thing is he's just doing the running thing.
Like, but now he's kind of transcended that point where people like him as like, you know, that influencer boxer type. But that's his like persona.
And he has like his whole like country behind him. And he kind of ride out for him.
Exactly. And the thing is too, like he built his like following now as an influencer boxer. Like that's his content. The rest of these guys like influencer boxing is a side thing. He's the only one where it's like it makes sense for him for his content to be around boxing because that's like what he does now. And so he is still like the A side in this whole like negotiation because people always tune in to watch him. We literally considered him like a top tier talent. I think like top 3 in most people's list because skill wise,
I still have him top 3.
Oh, I still do have him top 3. But after his last fight, like it wasn't the best. But
I think if they go longer than 3 rounds, he would be Anthony Taylor.
I think the one thing we did learn though is we might have put him like a little bit too high. And this like unbiasedly, he was like skill wise, he's the only one from day one looked like polished.
Exactly.
Like he was doing counters, he's throwing like moves that you see like in like some pro fight. Like he looks like he belongs in the ring. But the last fight, we kind of saw him get a bit exposed. And I think it was Vidal talking about, say Vidal Riley. He was saying the problem with Salt Papi was like the same thing which Kenny had, where they don't get active sometimes. Where you see them like only trying to do these like counter shots, but it doesn't always work because like you rely on the other person like pushing forward.
To make a mistake too.
Or like make a mistake so you can capitalize, which we saw Salt do in his like beginning fights. He was always getting them with that. I think it was like that counter left. And that's like he was sleeping everyone. But the problem was in his last fight, he wasn't able to land that as well.
So and Taylor's a big guy too.
Yeah, Taylor's a big guy, so he needed to get a lot more active. And with only 3 rounds, he didn't do it enough. And that's why he ended up losing. Like you said, maybe if it went longer, we could have saw a different story. But I think now that he's had that loss, I think like in his new fights, like we're not going to see the same mistakes. Cause I think he's someone that will actually correct it. And now we get to see like him on the offense, which I think is going to be really cool to see. And obviously like technique wise, I think he's way better than Slim. So going into this fight, I would say like it's a win for like Salt Papi.
I think like, and we gotta look at this whole thing too. It's one of the biggest card. It's probably gonna be the biggest boxing card of the year. Probably like if people are gonna give me flack for that.
No, it is the biggest.
People are gonna be flack for that, but I guess like aside from like pro like Garcia, Tank Davis, like influencer card. Like this might do at least 1 million pay-per-view buys. You got KSI and Logan alone did a million pay-per-view buys. So you got KSI fighting Tommy Fury, which is already established Fury name. Then you got Logan and Dylan Dance, and Dylan Dance has been promoting the shit out of this fight. Especially with Connor too. If Connor pulls up in his corner, Connor pulls up in his corner, and then even the undercard. If you're stacking like Salt and all these guys, but like Slim, like I'm just gonna assume they offered you 200K because that's what we've been hearing. Okay. If they offered you 200K, you just take it. Like I don't see what the point is. Like, this is an opportunity to get so much exposure because it's such a big card. This is such a massive card, and you're already an influencer. This should not be your main. If this is your main source of income as an influencer, we got an issue here because you like you can't be doing this long term. Like you need to be a YouTuber and a boxer at the same time.
And I'll be honest, like we said this before, like the money train's running out. Like once KSI
and Jake happens,
and that's it. Like the scenes, like these Misfits cards so far, they've been going because it can still stand on the fact that you still have KSI eventually, and that's why people are still tuning in. Once they're gone, I wholeheartedly believe like this whole influencer scene is pretty much gonna be dead.
Yeah, because like who else would you want to see after that? Like
yeah, and I think like I don't even know if KSI is gonna keep the same interest in it because he already is like saying like he's retiring from boxing. I don't know if he's gonna keep like how long Misfits can keep going
like,
unless they can bring another.
He'll plan the events, but I don't think he'll box anymore. Yeah. Like I think he'll be like, oh, it's like hyping up Misfits, but at a point like you've seen these cards with like without KSI, they've been okay, but it's like I don't
they're
really
good fights,
feel like
no one's
watching.
Tuning in.
You know,
the
like,
thing is like they're maybe entertaining cards or like entertaining events, but no one's tuning into them.
Yeah.
And, like most of us, like even us included, we just watch it after.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm not paying pay-per-views to see like these people I really don't know. Like I told you from the beginning, the whole point of influencer boxing is you want to see people you know and love get in the ring and do something different. That's why it was so intriguing in the beginning. It's like what the heck, KSI is like fighting like boxing. Like Logan Paul's boxing, Deji's boxing.
Exactly.
Like,
but now we don't even know who some of these people
now
are.
Now some of these
bro.
people are like, I don't even know who you are because you just stopped making content.
Yeah.
And it's like that was never the point of like influencer boxing. If you wanted to watch actual boxing, like I always said, if I want to watch like high level skill level boxing, I'm not watching influencer boxing.
Another thing too, like I think like this might be a hot take, but I know like some people are probably turned off by working with Mams, bro, with Mams Taylor. Just the way, like, because you can see the way he's treating Slim now. Yeah. What he did to Wade, like it just feels like once he doesn't get his way, he's just bashing you. He's just bashing you, and it's like people kind of just like, if that's how you're gonna treat your own fighters, why would I come and fight for you? You know. And
it's also like that's not how you like handle negotiations
publicly. You don't do it publicly.
It's like if it was happening behind closed doors, do it behind closed doors. I get it. They want to kind of do it to like promote the card, promote the thing, but right now you're not like promoting. You're kind of just deading it.
Yeah, like
and like you're just kind of like hurting any future cards with him because now it just looks like he's ducking, so you're like making his next fight look like he just picked a weaker opponent.
Bro, I wish they did Slim versus Gib. That would have been
interesting, but I don't think Gib wants to fight on Misfits
because Gib doesn't like Mams either. Gib doesn't like Mams either.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot like
it's a crazy
sucks
situation.
That it's coming down to like their managers ruining like these fights, and it's like that's almost like what you see in like actual boxing at times, where it's like these being on different promotions. Is what kind of ruined the
negotiation is always like that's why we haven't seen Tyson and Usyk because like Tyson was like I want this amount of money, I want this weight, and when he agreed to it he pulled out, then Usyk couldn't do this, and then like AJ and Fury like fell through, and maybe we might get AJ and Wilder, who the hell knows if we'll get that, but like that's why boxing itself, we kind of had a resurgence this year with Tank and Garcia and the Crawford and Spence fight. Like those are some of the biggest fights of the year, and like I hope we see something goated. Like I'm trying to see Canelo fight somebody, but like I don't know. Like Misfits got to step up because that's why everyone was watching influencer boxing because the fights you wanted to see made were getting made. Like if Dean and Waleed aren't fighting on this card, especially with their whole rivalry, I don't know what is the point. Like what is the point?
No, I think like this was like you said, like this was the card. Especially for these like young, like up and coming fighters, if you're really trying to build your name, like this is the card to do it, because like you said, this is the card that's actually gonna get like the most views. Yeah. Like after this, like there's the only one Jake left is like the JK KSI one.
Unless it's KSI versus McGregor.
Yeah, okay, then you're like booming again, but then you're dealing with like UFC and stuff, so I don't even know if they'll let like these guys get on.
Is he signed with like UFC for like a fight deal or like is like?
No, he's still there because he should still be under contract with UFC. So it's like you can't just like.
But Dana works with KSI and Logan already, so like I feel like they're gonna have a relationship.
But the thing is like they're gonna have a bit. It's gonna be definitely be a bit more like regulated and like what promotion it goes on and stuff. I don't think like Misfits are gonna. Obviously, in that case, UFC is gonna be the A side by a mile and a half.
And also that's why they couldn't do like it's an exhibition fight with Tommy and KSI.
That's because like
they couldn't get the other Misfits fighters. Yeah.
So when that stuff starts coming into play,
I don't know if UFC would be able to allow that. Yeah, like if they're not getting properly relegated.
And plus, it comes down to how much money that makes. And like obviously, yes, it'll make a lot of money, but it's not gonna be enough for like UFC to
KSI sleep in McGregor, bro. This guy's sleeping McGregor.
Stop this nonsense.
This guy's hitting him with that right hand.
Don't disrespect McGregor like this.
Sleeping him, bro.
Listen, I know McGregor. I know he's been on like a little bit of down like these last couple fights.
Stop. That would be the end. That would be the end.
People gotta stop sleeping and disrespecting. Because I get it. Mayweather might have not, might have gone. People say,
they should do a tag team boxing, bro. Mayweather versus Logan.
Logan KSI. Yeah, let's see. Let's
tag team boxing.
Bro, people gotta stop disrespecting McGregor. All right, that man's still like one, like the goated strikers of like UFC times. All right.
I give him that, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all we got for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you wanna, anything you want to talk about, like influencer boxing, just comment down below. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow our TikTok because for some reason people ain't liking our TikTok. Follow the TikTok, and we will see y'all on the next video.